Hello again, everyone. Toby Burrell and Tom Wilmot with you with tonight's WC Interactive Maroon Strong pregame show. In just 30 minutes or so, kickoff from Swain County Memorial Stadium in one of the biggest games in Western North Carolina this weekend as the Franklin Panthers come to town and the Maroon Devils are again up against a great team coming into this one, Tom. But, you know, last week was Swain's biggest test to date in that they faced adversity for the first time. Right off the bat with a fumble return for a touchdown, and they trailed for the first time this season.
They sure did. That North Henderson team came over and played really, really well in the first half. And Swain, well, quite frankly, they didn't look so good in the first quarter. So I think it was you hate to see them play, poorly, but at the same time, you're right. They had to do some different things. They had to kind of suck it up here after that fumble. North Henderson moved the ball pretty well against them. But as you know, the result was they came out on top again.
They did, and you know, one of the important things about that for a young team is in growing as a team, they have to face those type of things to be able to get better as a football team.
It sure did, and I'll tell you, it's so far this year we've seen the young quarterback play very well. But in this particular case, he was kind of a little bit shaky at first, but then came back, made an amazing throw down the sideline. Yep. I believe that was Jordan Cody again, who had another big game.
Yep.
That was a pretty pass too down there.
Yep.
I happened to be standing right there when it came down. That thing floated right into him, and next thing you know, I think he had his confidence back. Another good game, though, all in all from it.
Yeah, it sure was. And more importantly, probably from the standpoint of Coach Neil Blankenship, and he's going to talk about it in a minute in the interview, is the ability of his team to bounce back after that adversity of the fumble return for a touchdown, being behind in the football game. They answered right away. We saw that in the Smoky Mountain contest, them being able to answer right away to another team doing things. And that's great for a young team, and it's got to be comforting for a coaching staff to be able to see that. As you said, another good game from Kobe Stevenson under center, 7 of 8 passing Friday night for a career high 178 yards and a score. So, you know, the kid just keeps getting the job done.
Yeah, so far so good, and especially since it looks like we're having a little bit of trouble. That young offensive line's not exactly blowing open the holes that we're used to seeing a Swain County team have. Really impressed, though, I wanted to mention with Derek Fortner coming in and playing a little bit. He came in, had several nice runs. I think it's a real nice change of pace for us. Of course, we saw old number 22 get back in the groove in the second half, but I really like the way Derek Fortner's come into this team and contributed so far.
Yeah, Derek had a big run during that series where we went ahead. He had a big run of his own and gained about 20 yards on that or so, and most of it was just him working hard to get those yards. And
sure did.
You know, one of the things that I know Coach Neil Blankenship and offensive coordinator Jeff Marr are real concerned about is the running game only managed just barely over 100 yards Friday night, and that's got to be an area of concern going into Franklin.
Yeah, well, especially from what we're used to seeing over the years. We're used to being able to run the ball at will for the most part. So I think from a coaching standpoint, and I think from the other 1,000, 2,000 coaches in the stands too, which there's a lot of them out there. I think everybody's kind of waiting for that running game to get going. But you know, an offensive line, I mean, that's you got to almost look at an offensive line like it's one player.
Right.
And if your arm isn't working, then it doesn't matter how well your legs are working. So those guys are going to have to just gel, get their games together, and I think the running will come in because I know the guys in the backfield are good.
Yeah, right.
I mean, we've seen these guys perform before.
Right. And you know, help's on the way. Kanan Sellers is back tonight. He'll be playing tonight for the first time. He offers senior leadership on that line where making calls, we know that's very important to be able to adjust once you get to the line. And with a very young line, that's tough.
Absolutely. And you've got a guy, kind of a defensive or an offensive line's quarterback, so to speak. You know, he can tell some of these other kids, hey, you know, tap them on the shoulder. Not only tell them where to go or what to do, but kind of give encouragement too.
Right.
Like, hey, I've been through this before. Don't worry about it. Let's get this hole open the next play.
So I think that'll be a big help tonight. I tell you what, we've got another new feature, Tom. We just keep adding stuff to this WNC Interactive Maroon Strong pregame show. We're going to be Maroon Strong all season for you. But we've added another feature, and that's our own Erin Jenkins, a sophomore at Swain County High School. She's going to conduct our interviews today, so we're going to throw it over to Erin now to talk to head football coach Neil Blankenship. Take it away, Erin.
Hi, I'm Erin Jenkins, and I'm here with Coach Blankenship, the head football coach at Swain. We're here to ask him a few questions about Friday night's game. Last Friday night against North Henderson, You took a different view at it than your past 2 games that you trailed in the first quarter. How do you think your Maroon Devils face that challenge?
Well, you know, we first time trailing, our team is very young, and I was worried about that after that turnover and the kid returned it for a touchdown. But our kids, you know, they responded real well. They didn't hang their head. They can continue to fight back with that, you know, and I was real pleased with the way we responded in that part of that game. As coaches, we weren't real pleased with the way we played that night. There were some things we didn't like about our blocking up front, some things we didn't like the way our backs on pass blocking or the way they hit the hole. There were a lot of things that we had to come into this week to work on, you know, and defensively, they moved the ball on us, but, you know, they didn't score but really one time there against our first group, and we were real pleased with that part of it. But we knew after that game that we had a lot of things that we needed to improve on, and we've had a good week of practice doing that.
This week we play Franklin. They are a more bigger and physical team. How do you think you're going to face that challenge?
Franklin is a more bigger physical team. They're going to impose a running game against us, but you know, they have a strong running back in Jeremiah Young. But you know, as far as with him in the past, you know, their quarterback this year is outstanding. We talked to Coach Gentry at Murphy and about Franklin, and he was real impressed with that quarterback and the way he threw the ball and the way he ran. He poses a running threat that they haven't had in the past few years. They've had a quarterback that can throw, but they've not had one that can run with that. But up front, it's going to be a real match up front. We're real young up front, and our kids are going to step up and play big. But we've really worked on getting 11 people to the football, and on offense, they are huge up front, and you know, and so we're going to have to do a good job with just battling all night long and being a good tackler there. Defensively, they're big there too, and it's going to be a test for our young offensive line to be able to move the football. And it's like I told the running backs yesterday, they're going to have to get 3 tough yards. If the line's not blocking and missing blocks, like that's going to happen, we got to get 3 yards at least out of it.
So what's your attack on stopping Jeremiah Young?
We're going to put a lot of people in the box. You know, we're going to crowd the box and try to make them throw the football. And, you know, and if they beat us with that, then they beat us with that. But we have to stop the run first. And so we've worked real hard on that part of it, on stopping the run. And our kids are continuing to working on that through the week. And we've had probably the 2 best practices we've had all year were Monday and Tuesday. So, you know, I'm real pleased that we are getting better this week.
We started the year with a few injured players. How long do you think it'll be till they're full-time ready?
Well, we got Kanan Sellers back this week. He came back Tuesday. He got released from with his concussion from Tuesday, and he's back, and that's a big boost for our offensive line. Next week, we hope to get a couple more back. It's just kind of wait and see there with that. But Kanan Sellers is back now, and that's a big boost for us because he's one of the returning seniors up front. And he's a big leadership person for us up front, and you know, and he's going to probably start at that tackle on offense.
I think that's it for today. Thank you, Coach Blankenship.
Thank you.
Back to you guys with the pregame show.
Thanks, Aaron. We appreciate that good work from you. And, you know, Tom, we're real lucky. She ups the ante for us. She did a great job with that interview with Coach Neil Blankenship. And while we're on the subject of last week's game, let's go ahead and take a look at the highlights from last week.
A lot of folks here tonight from North Henderson. Very small crowd. Maroon Devils with a good crowd. Over the middle, pass complete. It's shy of the first down.
Ball's loose.
Loose. And there's a big hit over there by Taylor Oros.
Short of a first down anyway.
Loose. And I believe the Maroon Devils come up with it. And coming up with the loose football is going to be 44. Brody Sitton, the linebacker. Behind our quarterback, Kobe, and he gets the call straight ahead. There's a big run already, 9 yards on first down by Taylor Oros after a big hit on defense. The Knights trying to convert here on 3rd and long. Blitz coming from the left side. The snap is high, and the quarterback Kraft is in trouble. He eludes our defenders and is finally brought. No, he's still going at the 37-yard line. We finally get him down. He eluded about 4 guys, but finally getting him down over there was Brody Sitton on the tackle. 11:20 to play. Second quarter, again out of the I formation. And the handoff comes again to Taylor Oros. Quick hitter, first down and then some, all the way to the 41-yard line. And Steve, if he hadn't lost his balance, he might have taken that one to the house. Two linebackers right behind him. Nobody blitzing, everybody dropping back. Kraft looking, can't find anybody open. Now he's going to fire it in trouble, in traffic, and it's going to be intercepted. That's Jordan Cody at the 40. And he's knocked down right there, but Steve, he made a big mistake.
Got to be really quick to do that.
You said it. Quick feet and quick thinking. Toss left side. This time it's going to be Mr. Fortner on the run, breaking a tackle at the 25. And he's still going at the 20, at the 15, and 10, all the way to the 2. Penalty flags down, but what a run by Derek Fortner. I think they might have grabbed his face mask, Steve.
You talk about second effort. That was second effort and triple effort and 4 times effort. That was Derek Fortner all the way. I mean, he almost took it to the house.
Jordan Cody wide to the left side, man to man. Looking, Kobe firing, got his man wide open at the 40-yard line. Great catch, nice run over there by Angel Bowers at the 25,
oh, he got
20,
it, he's gone.
15, 10.
Come on, Angel, no.
All the way down to the 7-yard line. There's a horse collar tackle penalty as they grabbed him by the back of the jersey, and Angel is going to have it first and goal. So we hope he'll be okay real soon. Hand off left side, banging it, and we finally, did we bang it in? Yes, touchdown. Both ways. Back to throw is going to be Kobe Stevenson. Big blitz coming after him. He fires, and he's got his man. There's Jordan at the 32. He has some room. 25, 20, 15, 10, all the way to the 7-yard line with still 26 seconds when they should stop the clock because that moves the chains and should give us a first down and goal to go. Timeout. North Henderson lining up on 3rd down and 10. An hour 27-yard line. Kraft back to throw. Has pressure, and Brody's sitting and got him. He's down right there, fans. He can't get back up.
Brody's sitting.
Right. Franklin will bring a crowd. We better bring our crowd as well. Back to throw. Kobe Stevenson has all night. Fires complete at the 40-yard line. He's got his man. That's going to be Christian Norton. Big first down. Man-to-man coverage. Got a safety dropping back. Here comes the blitz by Oros, and he's got him. Taylor got him in the backfield.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Low snap. The punter gets it away. Pretty good punt, but Jordan's going to have a chance to return it at the 43. Gets a block at the 40, at the 35, down to the 32, breaking a tackle, 25, 20, 15, 10, touchdown.
Oh, they paid for that one.
He took it.
That's why they hadn't been kicking it to him, isn't it?
That's right. Now for the Knights of North Henderson. Kraft in the shotgun at quarterback, 4 wide, 1 back beside him, and he's going to run it himself to the right side, and he's going to be stopped short. He is stopped in his tracks for a loss. Coming up on the hit was Ross Ensley.
2.
Kraft again. He's going to run it again to the right side, and he's
I don't think
short.
He made it. No, he's short.
He is short. Again, Kraft, who's been running it a lot. High snap. He pulls this one down. He wants to fire. He can't find anybody open. He's running away from pressure to the left side. He's going to tuck it under his arm. No throwing, and Brody Sitton is a guy that turned it back inside along with Caleb Woodard.
And, Tom, coming into tonight's game, this is the biggest game in Western North Carolina this weekend. 2 unbeaten teams, 3-0, coming into this thing. But, it's just what we've come to expect from Swain Franklin football.
Yeah, well, especially last year, played a very tough game down there. And that was a Franklin team, I'm sure you guys remember, undefeated regular season, just a powerhouse, tore through people, had a heartbreaking loss in the first round of the playoffs. I think it was, easily the biggest stunner of the first round
Absolutely,
last year.
No doubt.
So that they've got a lot to play for this year. Last year we were talking that we kept it close, but they kind of wore us down in the fourth quarter a little bit. They had some very, very tough running backs, and I hate to say it, but nothing's changed to this year.
Well, the one thing we can know about a Franklin team is they are going to be tough, hard-nosed, smash-mouth football. They're not going to come out like North and East did and go to the shotgun formation, spread the field, throw it all over the place, and try to pick their chances where they're going to run. They're going to come over here and try to run it down our throat. That's the way they play. Doesn't matter if it's us, T.C. Robertson, Silva or Smoky Mountain, doesn't matter who it is. That's the way they play.
That's true. And I'll tell you what, those T.C. Robertson and Murphy guys, they can attest to it because they both have taken losses to them this year. Especially impressive is going over there, I believe going over there to T.C. Robertson. Not a small school, not a school without a tradition. And Franklin went over there and didn't just win. They smoked them. I believe the final was 42-14.
Yeah, they put one on T.C. Robertson. And, it's worth noting for you fans at home watching the game that Franklin did beat Murphy Murphy, and they did beat TC. So those are two quality opponents that they've handled fairly well. And the one thing that we got to look out for tonight is another one of those young kids over there, and I don't mean young age-wise. I mean Jeremiah Young, their star running back. He's run for over 300 yards, averaging over 100 yards a game. He's their horse. They're going to hand it to him all night long, and eventually his style of running, just pounding away at you, they hope will wear us down.
Yeah, well, especially with us, we play a lot of players both ways,
right?
And we can't. We've got to have to. I'm sure coaches. I'm sure they've got a plan for it. They're going to probably have to get some fresh bodies in there. But at the same time, anytime you play football both ways, that's going to be an issue. This time of year especially. Now, hopefully the weather will cooperate. Maybe we'll get a little cooler weather, and that can help us. Little things like that can make a big difference in a game like this.
Yeah, make a huge difference. Jeremiah Young also their anchor on defense. Very strong defense that gives the Maroon Devils a lot of trouble over the years. What they like to do is walk everybody up. Right on the line of scrimmage, get 8 in the box, and make it hard for us to run our veer offense, and even harder for us to throw it to our receivers on the outside. Be interesting to see what their defensive coordinators come up with as a game plan to stop Jordan Cody. I don't think you can enter into a game with Swain anymore and not have to figure out a game plan for Jordan Cody.
Well, I think your 8 in the box situation is going to work fine and dandy, but I think you're probably going to have to worry. You're going to have to bring a safety over the top on Jordan at this point because he's had 3 great games in a row. Not to mention, too, I don't want to get through this without mentioning that punt return that pretty much ended the game last week. So you have to, you're going to have to game plan for Jordan. And young Mr. Stevenson's he's had some pretty good games. He's going to have to make some accurate throws and loosen up that front Franklin defense.
Well, one thing's for sure, he's not going to sneak up on Franklin.
No, they're going
nobody from here on out. They know exactly who Kobe is, and they will game plan for him as well. And the fact of teams coming to Bryson City and saying we're going to make the quarterback beat us and we're going to keep Spencer McCoy from running for 100 yards, those days may be over with after Kobe's hot start, which may free Spencer up for a little bit more of what he's used to doing.
That would be great because then there's no faster way to get your running backs loose than stretching that defense. You have to if they have to start dropping safeties back and not being able to sell out all on the run. I think you might see. I think this week you're going to see a lot better rushing attack from the Maroon Devils.
Well, it would be a welcome sight, that's for sure. I know in terms of for the defense, in terms of ball control, to keep the ball out of Jeremiah Young's hands. It'd be nice to have those 13-play drives for the Maroon Devils standpoint. And to be honest with you, that's probably going to be a key to the football game, is which team can have long, sustained drives that take care of the clock and keep their defense off the field.
I agree completely, and I'll tell you, our linebacker play is going to be very, very big. Mr. Orris is going to have his hands full trying to stuff up that middle, but thus far he's having a wonderful year too. By the way,
great year.
I think our linebackers, Franklin's going to bring a lot of heat on that line, and it's going to be up to those to that second level of defense to make sure we're stopping them. 2-3 yards we can handle. 5-6 yards, not so much.
Right, and tackling is going to be another big key. You got to be able to tackle and hang on and tackle well. You can't because the first guy who meets Jeremiah Young rarely brings him down. They're going to have to be some help. That's about it, yeah.
That's why, like I tell my little guys, when I'm coaching the Pee-wees, we're probably the worst tackling level in all of football. But listen, just hang on to them until you can get 2 or 3 more guys.
Till help arrives. I hear you.
So with Jeremiah Young, we may have to employ some of that same tactics.
Help arrives. Should be a good one. We hope you're here with us tonight, watching it on your phone or cellular device of some sort, and in the stands we expect a huge crowd. Weather may play a factor. Thunderstorms supposed to move through on Friday. We don't know when they'll move through and be out of the area or move into the area for that matter, but it may be rainy. Come out anyway. It's going to be a great football game. It's been a big week at Swain County High School, as I'm sure you know. The volleyball team embarking on, realistically what could be a historic season, with Coach Sonia Blankenship having already announced this is her final run at it. She's going to step down at the end of this year. So everybody wanting big things for the Maroon Lady Devil volleyball team, and so far they have delivered. At this point in the season, they're 8-1, which is a tremendous start. They had a 5-game set against Murphy, which we covered for you, and they had a 5-game set against Rosman, who has been their nemesis for the last 4 years. Rosman, the conference champion for 4 years in a row, and the Lady Devils pulled off a big win. I wouldn't call it an upset because those two teams are very good, and they've gone at it in tooth and nail over the last couple of years. So, but it was a huge win for the Lady Devils on that one, and we've got some highlights of all that, I'm sure. I hope you tuned in and saw that because it was a great match from start to finish, just absolutely good volleyball. But, we kept our protege busy this week. Aaron Jenkins has got a word with Coach Sonia Blankenship. So, Aaron, take it away.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Coach Sonia Blankenship, volleyball coach here at Swain. You have a hot start, 8-1. What do you think contributes to that?
I think a lot of it has to do with our senior leadership. I've got 7 seniors right now, and they just decided over the summer that, they were going to change things around, make it what they wanted it to be. I think a lot of people counted us out, thought that, after I lost such a heavy load last year that we wouldn't be very good this year and we'd be more in a rebuilding year. And our girls took that as a shot and said, no, we're not going to rebuild, we're going to reload. And I think they've done that. I've got 2 seniors that have played varsity for 4 years now, tremendous leaders on the team. Emily Stiles has stepped in huge, and Alyssa Robinson both played travel ball during the winter, and I think that's helped them and their game tremendously. And then, of course, you add Taylor Schuler to the mix and Adriana Kaler, whose leadership is just impeccable. In addition to Lydia and Carrie, who, like I said, have been there for 4 years, I think that just that group in and of itself has been unbelievable. And then we can't forget Chloe, because Chloe has a brain that is unbelievable. Even though she doesn't play a tremendous amount, those girls count on her when they come off the bench for her to tell them where the holes are, what to look for. She just adds so much to the team with her intelligence.
Just coming off 2 nail-biting games against Murphy and Rosman, how do you think those went?
Well, Murphy was one of those things where we were without Faith, a junior starter for us. She had to have her wisdom teeth taken out, and so we were in a varied lineup, and we tried something, and it worked real well in game 1, and then games 2 and 3 we just got discombobulated and didn't know where we were supposed to be, weren't playing together, we're just all out of sorts, and Murphy took advantage of that. They've got a tremendous 2 athletes over there that can do a lot of things, and I think that's what happened to us. And then when we just rechanged the lineup and went back to kind of the basics with it, we just took it in hand and went with it. The Rosman match was a long time coming. We've been after them for a few years now. Can't remember exactly the last time. Lydia seems to think that it was her freshman year we split with them. I'm not even real sure if that's the case or not, but that was a long time coming. We've huge rivals with them from the get-go. So,
thank you, Coach B.
You're welcome.
Back to you guys.
All right. Well, thank you, Aaron. It's always good to hear from Coach Blankenship. And now, for your viewing pleasure, some highlights from those 2 good games, the Murphy and Rosman games.
With a sterling 30-1 record. So this team looking to go out in style. That's over, and Sale crushes that one to give the Lady Devils a 6-0 lead in this one right off the bat, behind the serving of Emily Stiles. Stiles with a tough cut shot. That ball was spinning like crazy as it went across. So Murphy off to a 2-0 start, and they have the momentum back perhaps. We'll see. That serves hard. Sale's got it. Kaler's got it back to her. Sale will punch it over and deep. Now Murphy to go at it. Back to the middle of number 32. She doesn't get it over. So Swain breaks serve. The spinner. It's down close. Sale's back in there to get it. Missed past it. Now Murphy will set it. They're way back off the net. It's hit. Jones has got it. Again, it's close. Set to Burns. Burns tips to the setter, which creates problems because then there's no one to set. Back outside to Schuler. She gets a run and go at it. Goes cross court with it. Setter has to sprint to get there and is able to. So Swain really extending Murphy's setter by hitting everything at her. And makes getting there to do that hard. That was a carry, no call. And there's Autumn Brown with a kill to make it 9-4, so it's a moot point. And now Lydia Sale, for her 6th straight time, goes back to the service line. The senior, a floater to the middle. Murphy struggles with it. Now it's back to the outside. Murphy hammers it cross court. Sale's got it. That's down on the court. A save by Lydia Sale gives Swain a 10-4 lead. Autumn Brown to serve it. 13-6 your score. Brown takes her time, steps up, tips the top of the net, and gets an ace. Needs to reel off 7 in a row before Swain can break serve, is what it amounts to. Robinson in the middle. She hammers it, pulled by Murphy. Their setter again having to run a mile to get to balls. Robinson again, and she hammers that one off the block. They go back to the middle to Murphy. She hammers it. Jones saves it. Sale over with it. And Swain saves that one. Brown with it into the middle, and that one's out of bounds. Swain's got it, and that's a win for the Lady Devils. Owen, a junior, to the middle to Robinson. Good run and go at it. She's got that one up and down. 4-3. Alyssa Robinson. Jones with the serve, her 2nd. That one tips the net, makes it over. And Sale knocks that one down. Jones with the pass. Back set to Sale. One step up and down. Pulled. Now here come the Tigers. Jones again. Brown with it this time. She goes outside to Sale. Sale goes down the line, and it's down for the kill. The Swain faithful being loud. Sale with the pass. Back inside to Robinson, who's down with it. That was blocked by Taylor Schuler. Styles right at Reese. Sanders back sets, which has not worked extremely well for the Tigers, and that's pulled tremendously by Jones, and we still got a volley out of this. Robinson pushes it to the deep corner, and it's down. To win by 2. It'll either end here or go to overtime. Good pass, good set. Sale on the outside, up, over with it. Swain has done it. They have won the first match between these two on a Lydia Sale kill. And the Lady Devils have done it. They have defeated Rosman. And you know, Tom, we're here on our new set.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be a semi-permanent one here in the Swain County Athletic Hall of Fame. And this is an amazing building in and of itself, but the stuff in here just, it's unbelievable, the amount of stuff that we've got in here.
I'm amazed. Before the game on Friday, me and my son came in here, and it'd been a while since I've been in the building. And what you guys have done to rearrange the place is awesome. One of my favorites is over here to our left. If you don't know if we can quite see that on our broadcast, but we've got all the state championship trophies in one case. That's pretty impressive. In fact, my little guy, that was the first thing he gravitated to. He's like, I want to put one in there too. And I was like, well, heck, 10 years from now, you can give that a try.
Absolutely.
But just everything from the presentation to, from some of the old stuff in here, from the old leather helmets to some of the old pictures of the girls basketball teams from the 20s.
Yep.
You just really get a sense of tradition and history when you just walk through here. Spend 5 minutes, spend a half an hour in here.
Oh yeah,
it's well worth it.
Easily do that, and we encourage you to do so. If you haven't been through in a while, make a trip through, because things have changed a little bit. Mm-hmm. As Tom said, we've rearranged some of the cases, and I think you'll really enjoy it. As we speak here today, they're actually putting in a brand new monitoring system with a 65-inch widescreen TV to play some DVDs and stuff on, and that should be exciting too. So show up early to the game. You can miss our pregame show next time. We give you permission this time.
Absolutely.
And come in and check this out. But money is what it takes to do this.
Yep, just like about everything, Toby.
It does, and it takes a lot to do it right. And so this year, for the first time ever, the Board of Directors for the Swain County Athletic Hall of Fame will be holding their inaugural Legends Classic golf tournament. Now that's going to be October 11th at the Great Smoky Mountains Country Club, and the cost is really reasonable considering the cause that you're going to contribute to.
I believe it's $325 a team, and
$80 an individual.
$80 an individual, but get yourself 4 people together. You get a good deal. It's a nice day of playing golf. It's a perfect time of year for it.
Yep.
Remember, I think we mentioned October the 11th is that. Of course, the induction is on October the 9th.
Right.
But the Saturday following is our golf tournament. And come out and support a good cause. I know that we got a lot of big, rabid fans out there, so hey, sometimes it's time to, not just to come to the ball games. You got to put your money where your mouth is.
One of the cool things about this tournament that no other golf tournament fundraiser can offer is our legends. Our legends are going to be there. You'll be able to rub shoulders with them. So even if you're not playing that day, if you just want to come out to a great atmosphere and just kind of be a part of it and hang around, we encourage you to do that too. We'll have some other things. We're probably going to have a silent auction on some stuff that folks will really enjoy. So it's going to be a wonderful outing, and we encourage you to participate in any way you can. And if you can't, we appreciate that too. But if you want to participate, you can give me a call at 488-3129. My extension is 5130, and we'll set you up. We appreciate your patronage to being able to do what we do in this building, which is considerable, but it's worth it.
Yeah, and the golf course out there too, by the way, for all you golfers out there, is in really good shape, and especially when you get to that part of October, it's beautiful. You can't beat a round of golf in the Great Smoky Mountains this time of year.
It's hard to, that's for sure. You're watching the WNC Interactive Maroon Strong pregame show. At this time, we're going to break away and we're going to show you one of our Legends Series features. And this is something that really excites me, Tom, is that we're taking time this year to devote to some of the legends that come from this Hall of Fame and to kind of tell their story. And it makes for really interesting. I think you're going to enjoy it. Our first one up, our first Legends Series feature, is on Swain County High School coach Norris Pee Wee Jones. Our next Legends feature is on legendary Swain coach Norris Pee Wee Jones. Coach Jones was known by many as Pee Wee because he was small in stature, but he was gigantic in terms of his contributions to Swain County High School and Swain County athletics. Coach Jones arrived in 1951. He spent 11 years as head football coach and athletic director at Swain High School. During the 50s, when Coach Jones coached, it was not uncommon for coaches to have to coach multiple sports, and Coach Jones did that, and he did it extremely well. He coached not only football, where his teams won 4 football conference championships, he also coached men's and women's basketball, where they won 7 conference championships, and he added 2 more championships in baseball. Coach Jones was a beloved figure in T.C. Robertson history, so much so that upon his induction into our Hall of Fame, we received this letter that I'd like to share with you now. To whom it may concern, it is with great pleasure that I write this letter and hope that in some way it may be used to honor Coach Norris Pee Wee Jones, who is being inducted into the Swain County High School Hall of Fame. Coach Jones was head football coach and athletic director at T.C. Robertson High School, where I went to school. He was the leader of the coaches, and that made him the leader of all of the athletes on campus at Robertson High School. The coaches I played for have had significant impact on my entire life and still do to this day. Coach Jones became more of a friend and counselor when I left Robertson High School to go to North Carolina and on to my coaching career. Each and every time I think of high school athletics today, I think of what a great experience I had. My coaches are the ones who made that possible. Coach Jones was, without a doubt, a great leader of young men. He led by example. He taught the right things, and he cared about each individual. I've tried to use the lessons that I've received from my coaches and other coaches with whom I came into contact each day of my life. I know I will never be as good to my players as the coaches were to me, but I will try. Coach Jones is a great influence on my life and a man that I admire greatly. Again, I'm thrilled to be able to help honor him today. He was a great coach, a great man, a molder of young men and a person who cared greatly. Thanks, Coach. Most sincerely, Roy Williams, University of North Carolina head basketball coach. Coach Jones is such a beloved figure in the T.C. Robertson High School community that the football field at T.C. Robertson is named in his honor. The Mountain Amateur Athletic Club made him the first recipient of their Lifetime Achievement Award. Coach Jones is a member of the T.C. Robertson's Ring of Gold, which is their Hall of Fame. He is also a member of the North Carolina High School Athletic Association Hall of Fame, and he is a legend in Swain County Athletic Hall of Fame. We certainly hope you'll come out and visit the Swain County Athletic Hall of Fame. If you feel led to do so, please make a donation. You can make your donation and send it to 280 School Drive, Bryson City, North Carolina, and put attention Swain County Athletic Hall of Fame on the envelope. If you're a former athlete at Swain County High School, we still have plenty of space on our brick wall to be able to put your brick up. The brick order forms are on the website listed below, so feel free to donate any way that you can. Thanks for being a part of it, and we certainly hope you'll join us in being Maroon Strong. You're looking at Swain County High School's Wells Fargo Cup, and that was presented last year for overall excellence in the Smoky Mountain Conference. And the way that works is the higher you finish, the more points you get, and at the end of the year, the team or school with the most points wins that beautiful trophy that you were just looking at there. Swain County High School, the proud recipient of the 2013-14 Wells Fargo Cup for overall excellence in the Smoky Mountain Conference. But you know, Tom, what a great piece those guys just got to see coming into that break on Pee Wee Jones.
Yep, and that's just one of the one of the displays that you can see here at the Hall of Fame too.
Absolutely.
I've learned a lot. You know, I mean, over just being in here for a little while Friday night, learned a lot about some of the older coaches and the coaching trees, and you know, like I said, if you're a fan of and not just football too. I mean, there's a wonderful golf display here. I mean, like I said, the old school basketball pictures. So. This Legend Series is going to be pretty neat.
I'm very excited about it. And we released one on our newly found Facebook page for the Hall of Fame, and it was a big success. So we'll have another one out. Every Friday we're going to release one of these with our pregame show and then on the Facebook page. So stay tuned to that and check it out. We think you enjoy it. But you know what? We're here for football, and that's right. Just moments away. Franklin and Swain County High School coming your way next on the Maroon Devils Network. Gary Ayers and Steve Moon. Take it away, guys.